Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I've had a few technical difficulties and it was kind of not a last minute thing, but I usually like to plan well ahead when I'm doing a live. So I know exactly how I'm presenting it, what I'm going to say, and all that kind of good stuff. So I do apologise for being a bit later than planned. And it's also extremely hot here in the UK, and it's really difficult to think straight or move quickly or do anything like that at the moment without getting overheated. So welcome friends, how is everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Hi Anon, hi Lady D, Amber W, hi Firefly, hi Stand Up, hi Tamara Hayes, hi Kimberly. Wonderful Kimberly and Firefly will be looking after you today. If you can please just be sensible in the chat, no slander, no libel, no stupid stuff like that. Otherwise the mods will have to kick you out. We're all adults and we've got to act that way, so if you could please just stick to that, I'd much appreciate it. So I think it would probably be a public disservice if I didn't really do this live. So, and that's the way I'm looking at it. This is a public announcement. This is giving you public information. This is in no way trying to bully or slander anybody or anything like that. It's just literally putting out information that has arisen today. Obviously, there's a fundamental reason for us doing that. If you're not aware, with our channel, we are very much against protecting victims of crime. We don't like them being exploited, used, abused, re-victimized. That is the fundamental sort of core of our channel. Really, certainly how we started, and of course, in particular, with the Watts case, we were very much trying to stop people from doing that too. Shanann's family, the Ruzak family, and this applies to any family that is. There's a real big picture here. Victims of crime need to be protected in this way, and not to be re-victimized, not for their cases to be exploited and crazy conspiracy theories made up about the case and all that kind of horrible stuff. Victims being re-victimized, and obviously there's a few particular channels, obviously, which we all know, which are well known for doing that. And of course, you know who those channels are. And one of the channels, obviously, we're going to speak about today that we've had information coming into it is Armchair's channel. Armchair Detective, aka Alan Vinnicum. I'm sure everybody knows his name now. It's out there in the public domain. This is not giving out any private information or anything like that. We're not stupid like that. We're not horrible like that. We're not trying to cause anybody any harm or anything like that. But this is information that people need to know. This is information that's now been made. Well, it is public. It's been brought to our attention today. My phone's been going off like a hot potato today. But from the point of view of, Shanann's family, the Ruzak family, who have just asked gracefully and politely for people to please stop making up crazy stories about their family, about the case, stop saying horrible things about their daughter, stop trying to pretend that all this stuff happened that didn't. Day after day after day, this has been going on. It's not like a TV company that makes a documentary, once every 6 months, or, a film comes out, and then, or another documentary may come out 3 years later by another documentary company. There's particular channels that just day after day after day, continually coming up with crazy conspiracies, harmful conspiracies, and the family just wanted it to stop. And that's fundamentally where our channel began, because we saw it happening a long time ago. It got to the stupid point where we were just getting copyright struck left, right, and centre. Tracy used to be on the channel, did some fantastic cartoons which you all loved. Boom, they'd just get copyright struck. We just got to a point where we couldn't put anything up without it getting copyright struck. It was just getting ridiculous, and YouTube were doing nothing. YouTube still are doing nothing, which just was demoralising. But I mean, there's so many other channels, and kudos to them. Hats off to them. There's so many other people and channels that have since spoken up, and they're doing their own stuff, and it's brilliant. There's some fantastic channels out there. You probably all know about them. Who have more than carried on the baton from what we were doing. Um, and good luck to them, and great work they've been doing just to try and raise awareness, like we were trying to raise awareness to somebody who was exploiting the case, exploiting the family. There's absolutely no doubt about that, and they've kindly asked him to stop, and it didn't happen. Everybody else stopped kind of talking about the case, or they would just talk factually, do a video now and again, like we do. We might occasionally talk about it, but with the Armchair detective style channel, it just went on and on and on and on and on, and it just got ridiculous. So anyway, enough of me babbling on. Things started today. First thing I was made aware of was a post on Frankie Ruzek's channel. He had it on his community post, and I hope Frankie doesn't mind me putting this up. I mean, it's on his public channel, so I mean everyone's going to see it. And it read as follows. Probably most of you have read this. Some of you may not have done. Hi, Fake Teddy. I'm just going to have to change my screen a minute so I can actually read it, so bear with me. The old eyes aren't quite as good as what they used to be. Okay, so I was made aware of this post this morning, and this is kind of where the whole thing started off today for me. Maybe for a lot of you guys, I don't know. I know obviously there's the public Facebook group, Armchair Detective Fact Against Fiction. Probably some of you guys may have known about it in there, but so this is the post that Frankie put this morning. Frankie Ruzek, of course. So this was 7 hours ago. Okay, so he put, looks like there is no hiding place for AD. I knew sooner or later karma would take care of him. A huge thanks to everyone who has helped put a stop to his bullying, lies, conspiracy theories, and harassment towards my family. Just a few weeks short of the 2 years, he has harassed, lied, and made almost $200,000 off my family's murders. I pray that he has to give up every dime that he lied to make. Looks like he has to get a real job now like the rest of us. No more lying and cheating to get on top. My family was all smiles and cheering this morning hearing the news. He can't lie to his subs anymore and make another dime off of my family's back for the next 6 years. Can't wait until he's put in prison when the UK finds out everything is really done, especially since my family literally begged him to stop and leave our family alone. Now we need to get the other 2 women that are so jealous of my sister. The only thing they know is hate. We all know which 2 I'm talking about. No need to say their names. The amount of fake slanderous lies and defamation of my sister's name and character, they should be ashamed of themselves. I know my sister had her hand in on this, tired of seeing people constantly hurting her family. Today is a great day. So that was from Frankie's page this morning, which is great. For them to receive good news and be happy is a great thing, right? So obviously that kind of got me looking, well, what the hell's going on? I saw that he mentioned obviously 6 years. I thought, well, that's a very specific figure to put. So it got me looking, got me and my team looking. So from there, I then went and had a look in the Armchair Detective Fact versus Fiction page. And I'm just doing the kind of order that I saw it. It just made it easier for me. And there was a post there from Marcus Brown. I didn't have a clue who Marcus Brown was at the time, but when I started to read the post, I started to figure out what it was about. So I'm sure you'll get the gist as well. So it says, "My name is Marcus Brown and I'm posting this statement for your perusal. I am not here for a public argument, nor will I be offering any further comment about why I made this decision in conjunction with Netta Newbound." Now, if you don't know who Netta Newbound is, she was the author who's writing the book. You see the image on there, which is called Into the Shadows, and I believe that she was writing it in part collaboration with Armchair Detective, from what I understand. Anyway, I'll carry on. Suffice to say, I will never take advice from any groups that promote hatred, bullying, or harassment. I don't know. To me, that public Facebook group, Maureen's, is nothing like that. She's very strict on people not hating, bullying, or harassing, and I've been witness to that. But when presented with hard and infutable facts, as have been presented by the Insolvency Service, I made a decision to act fairly and accordingly. The contract between publisher and Mr. Vinicum has been terminated with immediate effect. We no longer represent the aforementioned. Thank you. So obviously that was clear to me. Okay, this book's not going ahead. You can take it from that. That Marcus Brown, turns out, I think he's an author, but he's also the publisher. I believe that he owns the publishing company that Netta Newfound was going to publish her book under, in conjunction with Alan Vinicum, but that obviously is not happening now, according to that statement. So obviously, now I'm really intrigued, what the hell's going on? Why is this author or publishing company suddenly decided to down tools and not down tools, believe the book's still going ahead. It's going to be a factual based book. I think it was going to be anyway, but I'm not sure. But they're not doing it with Alan Vinicum, so I'm thinking, why? What the hell's happened? Why has they suddenly changed their tune on that? And that then brought me to. I was then sent a link, actually. Someone sent me a link on Messenger to an article on gov.uk's page, which I hope you can see there. Okay, let me just move that over a little bit. You're not going to be able to read it, but don't worry, I'll read it out for you. So this is a sort of public information website, government site, gov.uk. You probably got something similar in the US if you're listening from the US. And it's a press release. It's a press release, so this is public information. This is not doxing anyone or putting out private information. Wouldn't do anything like that. Wouldn't dream of doing anything like that. This is public information. It's a public site, government site. So it says press release, and it's dated today, and I'll read it to you. Western Supermare Restaurateur banned from managing companies. Restaurateur from Western Supermare receives 6-year disqualification after failing to maintain the company's books and records. Pop-Up Kitchen Limited was incorporated in June 2015, and Alan Vinicum, 65, was appointed a director at the same time. The company traded as a consultancy for the catering industry before taking over the license and management of the kitchen at the Blue Ball Inn in Exeter. By October 2018, however, Pop-Up Kitchen entered into insolvency proceedings, which brought the company and the conduct of Alan Winnecombe to the attention of the Insolvency Service. According to Alan Winnecombe, he suspended his directorship of Pop-Up Kitchen in March 2016 due to personal reasons, and a third party took over the management of the company. However, this was not recorded at Companies House, and investigators were unable to verify Alan Winnecombe's account of what happened, as the company records were not properly preserved. The lack of company records also meant investigators were unable to clarify the company's trading activities, what was the cause of the company's insolvency, Pop-Up Kitchen's income and expenditure, and what tax the company paid. On 3rd of June, the Secretary of State accepted a disqualification undertaking from Alan Winnecombe after he did not dispute that he had caused Pop-Up Kitchen to fail to preserve adequate accounting records. The ban is effective from 24th of June 2020, after which the restaurateur is banned for 6 years from acting as a director or directly or indirectly becoming involved without the permission of the court in the promotion, formation or management of a company. Rob Clark, Chief Investigator for the Insolvency Service, said preserving and maintaining company records is a basic requirement for all directors. The total lack of records in this case has made it impossible for us to determine whether there was other, more serious misconduct at the company, and that is reflected in Alan Winnecombe's lengthy period of disqualification. So for anyone who's not aware, Alan Winnecombe runs the Armchair Detective No Hiding Place YouTube channel. So obviously that was like, what, I mean, that's a clear indication, some might say, of somebody's character and how they handle themselves in business. They're not declaring what they're earning, they're not keeping books. It's all very dodgy, isn't it? Also, public information we do know, if you look it up on Companies House, again, this is public information. Alan Winnecombe does have 9 dissolved or companies that are in liquidation, and they all appear around this time of 2015, 2016. I mean, we made people aware of that information a long time ago. It's up to them what they want to do once they know that information. Obviously, we're not telling people if they want to subscribe to them, it's fine. We've always said that. We're just making people aware of what's out there, really, that people may not be aware of. And it may make you possibly question that person's character or why they're running a channel and all that kind of stuff. And there's also an article from Accountancy Daily which kind of says the same thing, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I was going to read that, but perfectly honest, it kind of says the same thing, basically. So that kind of leads us to the question, really, doesn't it, of, so he's, Alan Winnecombe's been banned for 6 years from directing a company or being part director of a company. Now, we don't know, we're not sure how this correlates to running a YouTube channel. Is a YouTube channel considered a business? I've seen a lot of people saying that it's the end of his channel and he's going to have to go. But in my mind, I'm not 100% true that may be correct. I mean, obviously, from Ruzek family's point of view, the hell that he's given them, great if it is, because they don't have to suffer that anymore. But I don't know. We've kind of looked at it today, and me and the team have run a few things, but we're still not 100% sure how this pans out with YouTube. Now, I did see a few people mention in the Facebook groups that he has been moving his videos across into his Patreon, but Patreon, all the videos, all his videos, certainly on Patreon that I've seen, are all YouTube videos anyway. It's still using the YouTube platform. It's basically just hiding away the URL to get to that video and only giving it to people that subscribe to his Patreon will just get that link. In theory, anyway, only people that subscribe to his channel. But they're still YouTube videos. He's still using the YouTube platform to present that video, if that makes sense. So I honestly don't know how this is going to pan out. I have seen some people as well that have not been happy about, there was a big thing made, as we know, about these letters, Chris Watts letters, that people were going to be told about accomplices, who was there that night, who was driving the red car, who was doing this, that, Chris's plan, blah, 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 blah. All our sensible people were like, that's bullshit, that's not true. This is not, don't buy it. But I know a lot of people did and have been fooled, I think, in my opinion. And there are still murmurings of donations that were made to Nicole Atkinson, or that were meant to be made. I know Maureen's looking into this. I know she's still trying to gather some evidence, but donations that were promised to be made to Nicole Atkinson and to Lupus were, I believe, not made, as far as I understand. So that's kind of where we stand at the moment. I'm hoping in a minute I'm going to try and bring Maureen on. We've had a few technical difficulties. I'm going to ring her a messenger and just bring her up on the speaker. She may just be able to clarify about the donations to Nicole Atkinson and possibly about the future of his channel. I'm not sure. I think some of us are still a little bit unsure, which is why I've been sort of hesitant to say anything too much just yet, because kind of been here before and things haven't quite panned out as people think. So some eels are very, very slippery. But then, there's just a couple of other things that I wanted to show you. Bear with me one second. So there was also a statement from Netta Newbound. She's the author of the Into the Shadows book, which I believe is still going ahead. I don't think they can pull out of it now at this late date. I think they've probably got an agreement with Amazon. But as far as I understand it, it's a factual story. And I'm quite confident saying that I remember that, the Ruzek saying they know people are going to talk about the case. As long as people are respectful and they talk about the facts, or they don't make up crazy, ridiculous conspiracy theories, then, they're accepting of that. And they understand that people are going to carry on talking about it. And that rings true with any case, really, doesn't it? But you don't see many other people making up these crazy conspiracy theories, do you? Or slandering the victims, which, the Lady Justice channel, formerly Miss Menza, has continued to do. And I know Cindy Watts went on there, and I just found that whole thing extremely distasteful. I find that sort of thing shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed to make public videos like that and slag off someone that's been murdered like that. It's just wrong on every single level that I can think of. But her channel is still there. People argue, well, she's free speech, entitled to her opinion about the case, blah blah blah. But it's like, no, you're not allowed to slander victims like that. It's like, why would you do that? I don't understand. Do not understand where she's coming from and why she needs to do what she does. I don't understand it. But there you go. So this was a statement from Netta. I'm just gonna bring it up on my screen so I can actually read it. Bear me 1 second. Yeah, so this was from Netta Newbound, the author of the book. Statement today. She says, after viewing today's press release from the Insolvency Service and following lengthy discussions with my publisher, it has been decided with immediate effect to dissolve the contract between Alan Vinicum, aka the Armchair Detective, and myself pertaining to the forthcoming title Into the Shadows, Discovering Chris Watts the Facts. This title and planned follow-ups will be released, but without input from Mr. Vinicum. May I take this opportunity to remind readers these titles relate to fact only and not my assumptions or beliefs. I wish Mr. Vinicum well with any future endeavours he may wish to undertake. Signed by Netta Newbound. So Netta Newbound's just backing up what the publisher said, that she's pulled out of any agreement that she had with Alan Vinicum. So I don't know if Maureen, do you still want to come on? Because I can give you a ring and we can just do it that way. For anyone who doesn't know, Maureen Cook is one of the former long-time moderators actually on the Armchair Detective channel. She got out a long time ago. She was disgusted with the way the Rosette family were treated and stuff that came out about the source and all of that. Yes, okay. And she runs the Armchair Detective Fact versus Fiction Facebook group, and she's holding Armchair, or Alan Vinicum, accountable for a lot of what he has done and said. So I'm gonna try giving you a ring, Maureen, and hopefully this will work. So bear with me, guys. Hopefully everyone will be able to hear Maureen. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Annoyingly, we tried a bit of testing earlier, but Maureen's phone wouldn't support the Zoom. Oh, here we go. Hello? Hello? Right.
Hang on, let me just turn you off.
Okay.
My laptop.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, I'll switch you off.
Great. I can hear you okay. I can hear something ringing in the background. Can you hear that ringing?
Yeah.
What is that ringing noise? Can you hear that kind of ringing in the background?
Has it gone
Ah,
now?
stop now. Yep, stop now.
Yeah.
Right. Can everybody hear Maureen okay? Hopefully they can. Well, if we start talking, they'll soon tell us if not. Well, thanks for coming on, Maureen. Anyway, now I was just explaining,
No problem.
how you were, a long-time moderator of the Armchair Detective channel. You were one of three, weren't you? And do you just want to explain?
Yes, we three of us were with him from the start.
Do you want to just explain when and why you got out of that channel, or walked away from that channel?
We walked away in December because in the June Armchair took on another admin who flatly refused to work with me, Mike and Debbie. And we didn't know what AD would do, what AD was going to do any night. We always used to know, we'd check his work to make sure everything was okay. But since this person turned up, she cut us off completely from Alan.
Wow.
And this is why the crap, sorry, I don't want to swear, but the rubbish that he's put out is not his own fault. I mean, I can't believe that we've sat back and watched what he's done with all this psychic nonsense and on all of that stuff. It's just not Alan at all. Alan is into crime, not that kind of rubbish. And I just cannot, for the life of me, get out of my head that woman who he has trusted so closely is the one that has ruined him. And I'm so pleased today that all the creators who've done the videos, myself included, and we've all had groups talked about him, that none of that has been his downfall, has come from us. He's done it to himself. And that's the only thing I'm pleased about.
Absolutely,
we can have clear consciences because we did not bring him down. He brought himself down.
I think everyone can agree with that.
We told him what would happen. He wouldn't listen to us.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Carry on.
It sounds like, I know someone will say, oh, she's jealous because he preferred this other woman. It's not that at all. We had his back. We kept him legal, and we know what we had to do with him. And she just wouldn't work with us, and that's why it all went pear-shaped.
I find that quite astonishing that he would bring in someone new and just discard the three of you, because you three were there for a long time. I mean,
they don't understand. There was more to our involvement with Alan than other people know. And I'm not going to bring that up because that's personal to Alan. But this, I'm trying not to say a name. I call her Cinderella.
I think we know who you. Yeah.
Joined, it was. She just cut us off. And when Alan told her that she had to tell me what was going to happen that night, what video he would be doing, she flatly refused to tell me. And that put me in a position where that divided the team. There was one half and there was her half. And I was put in the middle by Alan and had to tittle-tattle backwards and forwards, pass some messages on, which in the end is that's really what broke us all up.
Well,
and it's none of it is the original three spot. It's the team he's got now have been absolutely disgusting, and I don't care if they can hate me for all they want. They have behaved disgustingly, and the night I sat and watched them block the Rusek family and delete all their comments, I mean, I taught that team, you never block the Ruseks, you treat them with respect, never.
Yeah, that
and
was.
I just can't believe what they did.
That was unbelievable that night. I know.
Alan knew they'd done wrong because he phoned on a messenger call with the whole team. He phoned me after that, and I just went absolutely ballistic on that phone because I couldn't hold it in anymore.
I can
was
imagine.
Just so disgusted with them.
If you're there, giving the big sort of justice for Shanann and that, and at the same time you are blocking her family and deleting their comments.
You don't block any victim's family.
No, you've kind of know that. Yeah.
The Ruseks were blocked, and it was the end of February, beginning of March 19, when they first appeared on the channel. It was an instant decision between me and Debbie, and we decided to block it because the ID did not look genuine. In fact, it was not the Rusex that time. And that's the only time I've ever blocked a Rusek. And that was to protect them, to be honest. You can't have someone like that just appear on a channel and not know if you're talking to the right person. And that's one thing about Alan, he always did, in the beginning, check his guests out to make sure they were who they say they were.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gone out of the window, as we know.
Well, big time, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can kind of understand what you said about blocking them initially because, I mean,
We didn't. If it had been the real Mr. Rusick, we would not have kept him blocked. But we had 4, I think, appear on that chat that night, and none of them were the real Frank.
But it soon became sort of quite clear after that, didn't it, that you know the family were kind of around on social media, and certainly when they made videos, it became very easy for someone just to click on their icon, takes you to the channel, you know straight away it's them. Um, so yeah, I think everyone was shocked at that time when they were just gracefully asking for all of it to kind of stop, and they just got blocked and thrown out the channel. I mean, some people were saying, well, Scott Reese did block Frankie and stuff like that. I don't care really who blocks who. To me, you just don't do that. You do not block.
You do not block any family. Of crimes like that, you just don't block them. But the sensible thing is to check them out first before you actually start chatting with them in the live chat.
Exactly. So this it's Emma, isn't it? I think everybody knows it's this Emma woman.
I call her
Cinderella. So she's kind of come in, and your loyalty to. I mean, we kind of had our run-ins, right? And I'm not gonna deny that. Yeah, yeah. We had our run-ins, and I've got to say you were very loyal to him. I'll give you that. But it seems like that was just swept under the carpet then when this Emma came along, and you were just swept aside.
We were loyal to him in the beginning because I personally know how much he loves his YouTube channel. So I don't think we've seen the last of Armchair. If he can have his channel back and he can't have the PayPal links or Patreon, that's fine. But if he comes back, he's got to pull his socks up. And I really mean pull his socks up. And be respectful to people. Not drink when he's on live. Not invent stories. Not have fake people on. I mean, he's got to do it properly.
He has. He has. He's going to have to change his ways. I mean, he's got
to change his team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the live chat for Mike and myself and Debbie, we never used to bother much. We'd say hello when we first went on, and we kept off the live chat because when Alan looks at the live chat to read it, because of his dyslexia, the blue standing out, he sees that before he sees anything else. So we used to keep off. But now his live chat is nothing but conversation between his admins, and they're not really paying attention to the comments that are left because there have been some terrible comments overlooked.
Oh, there's been some awful ones. Calling the family name, the Rusek family names.
You can't chat on live chat, listen to Alan talking, and read the live chat. I myself used to have Alan switched off so I could read the live chat. I could never hear what he was saying. I'd go back and watch it after he'd finished. So I could read that live chat and concentrate on, what you're doing.
Yeah, makes sense. It'd be easier that way.
It does.
So, I mean, a lot.
You have to do it that way because all of the libel that's been left on his channel, you don't know if someone's going to come after you for that, do you?
Absolutely not. No, you cannot leave those kind of comments We've never had
No,
them on our channel. We've never, we always monitor the comments. We'd never let any, bullying or hateful comments or slanderous comment, anything like that. We take it off straight away. Um, and you have to do that, absolutely. If you're running a respectful channel, you've got to do that, haven't you? So
well, that is what I wanted. It was probably more me wanted the channel respectable than Alan did. I think I became a thorn in his side in the end.
well, it just seems to have got worse and worse. I mean, people clearly, I think, will agree with that.
I mean, if you look on Social Blade, and Lizzie's done all them wonderful graphs, you can see when the channel went downhill, plummeted, and it was June, and that is when we basically stopped advising him,
hmm
and we all left in the December.
Yeah. You glad you left? Seeing how it's gone anyway.
Yeah, I suppose I'm glad of the extra free time, but as I've been watching him, I haven't had that free time. It's sad because I know what type of channel he wanted, and I know why he wants his channel. And that person has ruined him with the rubbish that's gone out.
Yeah. It is, and a lot of it is literally rubbish, isn't it? It's just,
It is. The sidekick. I won't mention any name, but well, she leaves me speechless. Let's just say that. They
mm,
all leave me speechless because we watched them and we actually listened. And Alan will say, "Oh, she was 100% right tonight." She got nothing right. Absolutely nothing.
no.
And what really makes me upset is there's two people in his live chat that just refuse to see Alan and what was going on right under their noses. And they think he's God's gift. I feel really, really sorry for them.
Yeah, I kind of feel in a way sorry for this new author. I mean, a lot of people did try and warn her. Maybe some people were too vocal and
Yeah,
they were a bit over the top, and that's probably going to put
I
people off.
I wrote her a nice long message telling her everything. She obviously read it and deleted it straight away. But today I've spoken to her and I was kind to her because that isn't her fault. She was bombarded with everyone who was doing it with every good intention to try and warn her. And I think today she realised that we weren't actually after her, we were helping, trying to stop her making the biggest mistake in her career.
Yeah, well, I think when she saw the insolvency report, I think that's probably
And I
what.
laughed and said, your son threatened me last week, but we laughed about it. And she was quite pleased that I had laughed about it.
Well, that's good that you can laugh about it after, isn't it? I mean, people.
Oh,
I think a lot of people don't
don't
realise.
take those sort of things seriously.
No, I think a lot of people don't realise that we're not all out here using up our own time
Can I
to
just
to
say
do this.
something? Because I've just read something in the chat.
Sure.
I'd like to say this to Old Boyd, and I think I may have seen Outback further up. I'd just like to apologise to both of you because, well, I really need to apologise on two separate apologies, which I will do get in touch with you. But I do apologise for how I had treated both of you. And I know I need to apologise to Outback because I did not believe what Outback and Summer had said because Alan did not tell me the whole truth.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. That was about.
Yeah, he did not tell me the whole truth, and I did ask to see the monies that Summer had paid, and he did not show it to me, all of it.
Hmm. I know Summer was a Patreon, a quite high tier
Yeah.
Patreon at that time,
And the
and
things I've found out since I've left, it's just, he just lied and lied and lied.
surely
And that's
not.
why I feel I had to do what I've done, open that group to to get people together who want to let it out.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. And that's all we've ever done. We all we did try to do is just raise awareness, just to try and tell
Yeah,
people, look, I think maybe you just need to look a bit more closer at who you're supporting and what he's supporting and how he's treating people. And that's kind of all we've
and I
ever
did say
done.
in March last year when the Insider first turned up, and I was suspicious, like everybody else. And in the end, after she'd been on, I think a couple of times, I did phone Wisconsin prison, and I spoke to somebody there. They knew all about it because a lot of other people had got there before I did, and they said basically no, she didn't work there, and what she did actually say, because I'd actually watched Armchair and her, that what she said was, completely not what goes on in the prison. She would not have had contact with Chris Watts at all, and they were good about it, because I said, well, does Armchair now have to face charges or get into trouble? And she said no, because it was just laughable. They're not going to investigate it.
Right, so they just laughed
And
it
I
off.
said, so the next night I phoned Lizzie, Heidi Ho, in Canada for an hour and a half. And I told her then, because she had been telling me for months and months what Alan was, but I just don't know whether I refused to see it or I couldn't see it. And I told her that night, if he is lying to me and he is doing all what Lizzie said he was, I would do what I've done. And I've done it out of him.
Mm.
Because it's not fair. You cannot do this on social media to people. You just cannot.
No, and that's why there are so many people speaking up. I mean, there's no other
Yeah.
creator that gets this kind of negative following, if you
And
like,
I've
is
had
there?
to, us three, the originals, we've had to live with people saying we're thieves, we've been in on his cons, we've pocketed the donations. I can honestly say we didn't even receive a bit of merchandise off Alan, let alone any money.
I can
He kept his money side of things away from us anyway. We never had access to PayPal or his bank or anything.
I can understand that. I can understand it's not really a
Mm.
kind of team. I imagine he's not a great team player. I imagine he's kind of, he gets all the praise and he gets everything. Well, his team run around and
Yes.
do the other stuff that he doesn't want to do. That's kind of the impression I would get from him, and that kind of
It's,
reflects in his businesses, doesn't it? What's happened here today?
well, without going into complete personal details with Alan, there is a side of me which everyone will hate me for now. I feel a bit sorry for him, but then I don't feel sorry. One is because he doesn't know how to do things, and that is his fault, no one else's.
No,
But at the same time, he did not have to sit there night after night lying about Shanann and the family,
no.
glorifying little Bella's injuries, which I found disgusting and went nuts after he'd done that particular episode. And he didn't have to do it, but he can't. He just has to implement, he just has to bring something in it to make it more gripping, if that's the right expression. It
Yeah,
didn't need to be anything more gripping. It was a dreadful crime.
it's awful. It's all for shock value.
I mean,
It,
it
it,
was
it,
like it was like I was married to Alan sometimes, because I've had more rows with him than I have in 43 years of marriage with my husband.
right. Yeah,
And I
it's
kept telling
sickening.
him, you can't do this to the Ruziks. You need to. He told me last year, early part of last year, there's nothing left to do on the Watts case. It's all done. And we thought he'd done. And he goes back to the bloody beginning and starts again.
I know it's infuriating. It's the fact where we're here nearly 2 years later, and he's still
Exactly. I mean,
inventing stuff. It's just ridiculous.
the times I wanted to pick up the phone and speak to Frank, the family, and just tell him something, I stopped doing it. I thought, no, I can't just do that. I'm a complete stranger. But someone had to stop what he's doing.
Yeah, I
And I hope he never, ever, ever mentions that family's name again. Or the Watts family come to that.
any family, I think people are fearful that
If he's
this may
got
happen
any
again.
respect for these people, he will delete every single video that he made on that subject.
Yeah, that's already happened, isn't it? I've seen videos disappear.
Well, he's hiding them in Patreon, so that makes, they still exist.
That's right.
And they shouldn't exist. They should be deleted, destroyed.
Well, like I said earlier, his videos are okay. They're hidden behind Patreon, but they're still YouTube videos. It's still recorded on the YouTube platform. So just going back. Sorry,
No, it's all right. You carry on.
I was going to say I was just going to go back to this ban that he's received today. We're just trying to get our head around how this is going to correlate to his YouTube channel. I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of.
The way I see it, as been in business all my life, and the way I read that and saw that, you can't have a business for 6 years. So he'll be 71 when he's struck off of that one. Now, if he is allowed to come back on YouTube, I'm 99% certain he won't be allowed to have Patreon or Super Chat. He will just have to have a YouTube channel and do nothing or do all what he's done before, but not get paid for it. The minute he takes a payment, he's breaking that ban of what he's been given. And he could land himself into more trouble. So in fact, Patreon and Super Chat and also his PayPal account really need to be shut down to keep that man, and I'm not being nasty, to keep him legal. He's I will say, I'll be honest, I don't dislike him. But there's a side to Alan you have got to be really strict with and tell him what he has to do to keep himself legal.
The way I see it
and
is.
if he ignores that and takes PayPal payments on the side, well, he's only got himself to blame again.
Yeah. The way I see it, he's in the wrong business. He should not be anywhere near these high profile, such sensitive cases. He shouldn't be anywhere near them. The way that he's treated, the families and stuff, the way that he's constantly exploited them and upset them.
Talking about them. I mean, he started okay, and we had it was just Mike and I then, because Debbie had to take some personal time out, and we had 4 months of him running normally, and it was an easy little job. And then, as I say, along comes Cinderella, and everything just exploded, and it was all ruined because they did not know how to treat him, how to look after him the way we did.
No. Sorry, could I just say thank you?
I told them before I left. I told them the exact truth about him. I don't think they believed me.
No. So I just want to say thank you to Outback in the chat, and I just want to say hi to Frankie. Thanks for popping in. Frankie Rosette's in the chat. I just wanted to say hello to him.
Oh, is he?
I was just gonna, on that point actually, I know you're looking into some donations that were supposedly taken up for Nicole Atkinson and her lupus.
Several people have told me that they donated to the charity, to lupus, which I do remember, and I've seen people posting in comments under videos that they had donated to Nicole Atkinson, and we never heard any more about it. I vaguely remember something about that one. We've pinned down a date. It would have been, well, I'm not going to put the date out because he'll go and delete the videos if he's got them. So I asked for people to come forward. I didn't want their personal addresses or anything like that. I just needed to know that there are people out there who have donated to Nicole Atkinson. And I took advice on this from the solicitor, and I asked advice how to handle this because I want to do it properly. And I was advised that I had to speak to Nicole. I hesitated for 3 days. For obvious reasons, I didn't want to upset her. But I had no choice in the end. I had to ask her, and she was very kind and told me she didn't even know about Armchair doing anything like that. And she said no, she had not received a penny. And that was the conversation we had. She came into the group, made a little post saying that she hadn't, and she left because she really found it too upsetting because people were talking about Shanann. And the next day I phoned her just to make sure she was okay. Now, anyone watching Armchair's live through nights ago or last weekend, one of his admin came on and blatantly lied about me, said that I had badgered Nicole. And I hope you're listening, Sheila, because I find you absolutely disgusting. Who would badger a cancer patient? I mean, come on. That's the team he's got, that type of team.
Yeah.
2 little messages is all that I did, and I hesitated before I even done it.
Well, you've got the receipts, haven't you? You've got the receipts. You've spoken to Nicole. She came into the group.
Yeah,
She said what she wanted to say.
She's fine about it. I mean, that lady is so inspiring. She is an absolute angel.
She is. I think everybody would agree with that.
I have reported this to our police here, cybercrime, and I have the number. I can't give anything out at the moment because I won't know anything till after the 1st of July. And I've got to ring them back on the 1st of July. But it is all going through and it will be looked into. They're just slow at the moment because of COVID stuff. They're on short staff.
Well, I'm sure you'll keep everybody updated on your group, won't you?
They want to report it. The crime number is on my video, so they can get it off there or just message me and I'll give it to them.
Is that off your YouTube channel?
Yeah, on my YouTube channel. It's just in my name, nothing special.
Okay, so you've got a crime number there that anybody who feels that they've been.
And I will admit, I was a little bit suspicious about Alan last year. And when I had to have the police here at my home, they came to watch someone on YouTube. And I was discussing with this police officer what was going on. And I did say then, I don't know if he's genuine or not. Because at the time, I didn't know if he was genuine or not. And now people are saying all this about, we denoted this money and it hasn't been given to Nicole. I don't think I was wrong to think that way. I'd hate to think Alan has kept all that money. I really, really would.
I would hate to too. I mean, that would be kind of lower than a snake's belly for somebody to do something like that. So I sincerely hope that's not the case.
He sat there the other night and said, while he was live, look, I've just donated however much it was to the Lupus Fund. All he showed was a letterhead with the Lupus name on. There was no money amount, no receipt, and it wasn't even like a PayPal receipt. He's just calling people all the time. I don't know whether it's how he lives his life, or he just does it and hopes he can get away with it.
Well, what's worrying, of course, isn't it, is when you look at these insolvency reports that have come out, they're basically saying that he's not kept good records, he's been hiding stuff.
I've done what I've done to clear my name Mike's name and Debbie's name. We never had a penny off him. Never, ever. In fact, I bought him a couple of things. I paid the first donation to the Madeleine McCann video that he did. It was my money. I sent it off to the charity and proved it. And I actually bought him a website domain.
Right.
That's a fool, wasn't I?
Well, hindsight's a wonderful thing, Maureen, unfortunately. How did you feel about the...
I just know how much this channel means to him. And if he comes back, he has got to change drastically. And I mean drastically. And
Agree.
get rid of Cinderella. She's dragged him down into the pit.
I think, like you said at the beginning, he's been his own downfall. Maybe he's been steered in the wrong direction, or even further in the wrong direction, but he's been his own downfall, and ultimately that was always, I think, how it was going to play out. It's going to be interesting to see how this, goes on from here. Just quickly, I just want to mention, how did you feel? So I know it disgusted you when you first found out about it. Was the escort agency business, which again just got laughed. Again, it just got laughed off as a joke, which kind of everything does when anything comes up to embarrass him.
There was two turning points for me to come out and go public, if we put it that way. One was the green screen incident and comments, and that was the source. That's it. He gets no more chances with me, that source agency. And to say it was a joke, a 3-year joke.
That's the get out of jail free card, though, isn't it, Maureen? It's the joke,
Well, no,
it's the joke.
In my eyes, it puts him in it deeper.
Well, it does.
The way he's been, those stupid record songs he's been doing, just make him look like he fits the source agency, doesn't it?
I guess some people might see it that way, yeah.
Well, I can't see. I mean, the one he did yesterday or the day before, I couldn't even listen to all of it.
I suppose it's kind of like Marmite, you either love it or hate it. It's not my kind of thing. I guess if he wants to sing songs like that and people want to listen, then I guess that's up to them. But yeah, it is a little bit odd, I must admit.
I mean, no one in their right mind do those songs on a crime channel.
No, especially given what's happened, what's been going on, the stories that have been coming out.
I can't see Scott doing a song like that on his channel, can
No,
you?
I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't even do one, Maureen. I wouldn't put up a creepy sounding song like that. No way.
I can see just someone in the chat saying it's not all Emma's fault, but there are things I'm not going to make public for obvious reasons. And one of them is Alan doesn't really do research. Emma did all his research. So the content that he put out is from Emma. It was from nobody else, it was from Emma. And that's what I can't understand yet. Why he went into the psychic lark and all this fairy nonsense and whatnot.
Who did this research before when you were there?
We never did the research. I mean, none of us had time to do research. He had Ginger Ninja. God, I can't remember them now. Ginger had her own team. She picked her own team. I think there was Buffy.
But again, it was other.
3 others. I can't remember who they are.
So are you saying it wasn't him then? Even back then, it wasn't.
Well, he. See, there again, I'm going to let out something personal, which I don't want to.
Don't say if you don't want to.
He doesn't do in-depth research. Let's put it that way.
Right.
He relies on everyone else's research to make a program.
Well, we all know.
So it's not all his fault. What he puts out, it's puts out because he trusts other people too much. And
Mm.
we've all witnessed his channel. It's just plummeted down. It's his fault. No one else's, but it is his fault.
It is. It's his responsibility, isn't it? Ultimately, it's his
We tried to
responsibility.
tell him, but he just wouldn't listen.
Too stubborn. Too stubborn, would you say?
Oh, I mean, it's all his fault. And the only thing to do, I mean, I was a bit sad this morning. I didn't really know how to react to all this at first. But the only good thing is, it's none of the creators, none of the other channels, not me, not anyone else. He brought himself to this halt.
It's very
He did
true.
it to himself.
It's very true. You can't say that that's not true. It's nothing to do with anyone. It's nothing. It's not even to do
No,
with
he's
YouTube.
done this to himself.
Yeah, it's not even to do with YouTube, is it? I mean, YouTube have
No.
been bloody useless, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I just grew more and more frustrated with YouTube's lack of action. It was just completely demoralising, and they still haven't really done anything.
I mean, if he's listening, or any one of his team is listening, the one thing Alan could do to get a little bit of respect back is to get onto YouTube and withdraw the complaint that he made about Lex Kalia, and Armchair Defective. They both lost their channels because of him, and they did not deserve that because they were only telling the truth. And they don't deserve it, and he could do something to get their channels back.
I would hope so. I don't know whether it would be too late for that or not, but if he possibly could.
I mean, I'm sure YouTube has not deleted everything.
No.
I do believe that they keep them, actually, so I heard. But Lex didn't deserve that because, I mean, a 65-year-old man going after a young mum in hard times that everybody faced with the COVID thing and job layoffs, and he takes a little bit of income away.
Agree.
And I think that is absolutely disgusting.
Agree. And like you say, for what?
You don't try and get one over on a young girl, a young mum, because she's actually told the truth about you.
No. And that's right. That ultimately, that's been the story from the beginning.
I didn't actually know Armchair at the time, so I don't know her circumstances, but he took her channel away as well, and he could really get them both back.
Well, he's attempted it with many. He's attempted with us a long time ago. You know, we were constantly getting hit with copyright strikes and what have you. Just for, like you say, telling the truth. We weren't making anything up. We never have.
We didn't report everyone for copyright strikes. We didn't do it. It was the rest of the team that did it. We wouldn't do it. There was only one channel that we reported, and now I actually wish I hadn't.
What do you think of the sub situation on the channel? Do you think they are genuine numbers? The way that it's climbing
No,
and it's
not at all. No. He's gone up today by another 100. He's not been on for a couple of nights, so he's obviously added some more. He's bought some more.
The viewing figures don't add up to me. That's all I can say. The figures that he's got.
I mean, when you have, as he keeps saying, nearly 60,000 supporters, it's not 60,000. We've got 53,000 on the channel. Take off the 6.5 that he's got in his Facebook group. That knocks it down. So where are the rest? When he's on live, the maximum I've seen him have is about 400. If it's if it's a good subject. And it's always the same people in the live chat. It's never, you don't really see anyone new or anything.
It is a bit strange.
Where are all these people?
It is a bit strange. I've looked into it. It's very possible to buy subs, and I'm absolutely sure that he's aware of it.
I didn't actually know you could until he did it.
And apparently it's not it's not illegal apparently. But of course, you get to the stage like now
Well,
where
there
people
is a
notice that the
video.
numbers don't add up.
There is a YouTube video by YouTube, somewhere on YouTube, which I did watch. You can buy the subs, but you do it at your own risk. If they find out, you can lose your channel.
Right. Something you may need to be careful about then if he is doing that.
But why? I mean, why buy subs? Because it's just a false appearance. He knows that's not 53,000 subs.
But other people don't know
I
that, you
mean,
see,
I've
do
got
they?
210 subs, and I was quite surprised to even get them.
Yeah, I can kind of see from somebody why they would do that is because obviously they're giving out this appearance that they are they're a very popular channel, very much liked. And for people that are
Well,
new and joining, it's kind of like, oh wow, I must
on
join this
his,
channel.
I think it was it was one of the Maryland videos he did a few nights ago. He actually sat there and said, and I know this time he was actually being 100% truthful. He wants to be the best in everything he does, but he doesn't get it doing it the correct way or the honest way. So really, in effect, he's at the bottom because nothing he's done is honest.
Well, that reflects in what's happened today, didn't it? With the
Exactly.
report
This
coming
is
out.
why, in a way, it's not really all sunk in yet, but this is why I'm just so glad he did it to himself. We aren't responsible.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
But he can't argue with that. He cannot point the finger at any one of us and say, you took me down, because none of us did.
No, no, it's actually something outside of YouTube.
Yeah.
If that's going to happen, if he is going to lose his channel, we've got to wait and see. I know a lot of people saying that he's gone now, his channel's gone. I would just say, hold fire a minute because we don't know how this legally correlates to YouTube. YouTube's a bit of an entity, isn't
Oh,
it,
and
really?
it just reminds me, going back to the donations, I have got a text to prove that this person, I did text her actually earlier and told her to come on here, but I don't see she's here, who texted me and gave me the proof that she had paid money to Alan and it didn't get to 3 destinations.
Right. Well, that's going to be quite damning proof for him
It is, yeah.
if it was given under the pretense that it was going to go to, a good cause or whatever, charity, and it hasn't reached there, then yeah,
And when
that's
you
not good.
donate to a charity, you're donating, which it was for, the lupus. And he turns round and said, oh, I sent it to the children's charity. Nothing wrong in donating to a children's charity, but you do not take that money that was given for lupus and put somewhere else. That's
No,
not his right.
no, absolutely not.
You give it to lupus.
Absolutely, you have to. You have to stick to
Yeah,
your word. You're only as good as your word, aren't you? And
yeah.
if you
And
start
quite
changing
honestly,
the
I don't
rules,
believe he'd pass the money over at all.
well,
I mean, I've asked him for proof. None has come forward. If he was genuine and he had passed his money on, all he had to do was just send me proof. I could have dropped everything there and then.
yeah.
But he hasn't, so it's going to go on and it's going to be investigated.
Well, with our channel, I've made numerous donations to Lupus, and they give you you get like a receipt number, um,
Yeah,
which
do.
I always kind of normally put up on the channel just so people can see. But you should have like a receipt number for that donation from Lupus, or at least an email,
Yeah.
which would be quite
All
easy
he
to.
showed on his phone to the camera was the letterhead with I'm not even sure if that was the lupus address. You couldn't see anything.
No, I mean you'd want to see the date, wouldn't you? You'd want to see when it was
Yeah.
donated.
Well, if he paid by PayPal, it would have been a PayPal receipt. I send out invoices all day. That was not a PayPal receipt.
So it's one of those dodgy, put up the phone to the screen kind of receipts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So if there's one thing, Maureen, that you could say to Alan now if he was listening, what would you say to him? What would you advise him?
Probably to listen to what I've said, to get Lexi and Armchair's channel back, to withdraw that complaint. And if he wants to come back on YouTube, because I don't think any of us will ever get him stopped, or as Outlaw's just written, bugger off. I don't think any of us will have that power to be truthful to get him completely removed. So if he comes back, he has got to be 100% honest and with a different team behind him.
There you go. One can only hope that he takes your advice. I mean, he's going to have.
I know how much he loves his channel. I'm not sticking up for him, but I do know how much he loves his channel and why he does it. And he has, believe it or not, there is a funny side to Alan. But he's just gone. I can't even describe how he's gone because I'll end up swearing, and we all know where that got me last time.
Yeah, I think we're all trying to be as professional and respectful as possible. I think we all have a duty to do that. We're on a public platform,
I'm
so
trying to be as polite as I possibly can. I mean, one thing I really would love him to do, if he is going to come back on his channel, make a video and apologise to the Ruzek family.
that would go a long way,
As I
Maureen.
said, once this is all over, I will be writing to the Ruzeks to apologise.
That would go a long way if he, if he could.
He should do a video. Alan's not a letter writer. He should do a video apologising for the hurt he's caused that family.
Agree, 100%. Agree with you. Whether they choose to.
I can see people in the chat sort of questioning where I stand and whatnot. Let's put it this way: I would never ever want to work with him again because I wouldn't trust him. I don't dislike people. I wouldn't say I dislike or hate him. I dislike what he's done, but he's got to put right what he's done.
Yeah.
He cannot just turn his back and walk away, expect to switch on his YouTube channel and it, here we go again, I'm back, Alan. It's all going to be all right, because it won't be all right. He's got to put it right.
Let's hope and pray, Maureen, that happens. If that's the case, if he's going to keep his channel for whatever reason, he's got to.
He could lose his channel. I mean, things have not gone through the paperwork mill yet, have they? So
No.
he could still lose his channel.
And
if he keeps his channel with his money links, then you'll know he's not doing it legitimately.
No.
Because whatever money you take, whether it's given to you in donations, it's still earnings in the law's eyes. It has to be declared. And he can't do that for 6 years.
Well, he'll have the Inland Revenue watching him like a hawk now.
Well,
I mean, that's for sure.
I mean, if he thinks he can fool Inland Revenue, this will show you what a foolish man he is. Because the minute you sign up for PayPal and Patreon, that is automatically information is sent to Inland Revenue. So they know he's got a PayPal account and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if he hasn't put his books in for the last 2 years he's been on there, he's going to have more grief to face. I told him how to do them. I told him how to download it all. Whether he did it or not, I don't know.
Well, you reap what you sow, don't you? More in this life, you reap what you sow. That's the way it
Yeah,
goes.
we helped him, beyond helping someone, if you put it that way. And one of us helped him so much that he treated her like dirt in the end. And that is what really hurt me, because she was a good friend.
Yeah, I don't see much love for loyalty, if you like, coming from him. Certainly from what you said about, this new person coming in on his channel, and you three that have been loyal for a long, long time. And like I say, we'd had our run-ins, um, but you were then just kicked out like you were, nobody. I think that is testament really to how he operates the channel. Everything that's come out today about his previous businesses, it just shows, how he operates. It's kind of,
He cannot go on the way he has. And to be honest, any subject, just don't do crime, Alan. Just don't do it.
just do it respectfully. Just do it respectfully. Have some
I'm
respect for
sure there's
people.
something out there he can do, but crime, no, not crime, because it's too tempting for him to invent things.
Hmm. He's a great storyteller. I'll give him that.
Exactly.
But
I
it's the
mean, I'm sure
wrong.
there's something he could do, but not crime.
No,
Not ever do crime again.
no. He is totally in the wrong business, in the wrong area of YouTube, if you like.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
most people would
unless
agree with that.
someone has just said it, passing comments about me and what I've said. I've told the truth tonight, and it was hard for me, and Lizzie will back me up on this. I couldn't see everything he was doing when you were in there with him. It wasn't until I'd left, and about 2 weeks after I'd left, I could see what Lizzie had been trying to tell me for the past year and a half.
Mm. We've had a lot of people, have come across from his channel previous, have been like you, and initially they can't see it. I've had
Yeah,
arguments with people. 2 weeks later, they're telling me, oh my God, I didn't see it. I understand what you're saying now. Um,
yeah.
it's
You
weird.
just don't see it when you're so close up to it. And as I say, I used to have the sound practically off because I was reading live chat. So I never heard half of the things that he said, but I always used to go back and watch when he'd finished, when it was too late to give him a telling off.
Right. I've just
And I did used to tell him off, by the way.
I've just noticed in the chat, JD, she made a donation earlier. She'd like it to go to you, so I'll make sure you get
What?
I'll make sure you get that donation.
I don't want the money. Give it to charity, Chris. I don't want it. Did I give it to wherever you give your money to Lupus or wherever?
Well, it's normally Lupus or the National Centre for Exploited Children. We normally give it to one of those two at the moment. So I'll make all the donations tonight. There's been a few. I'll give them all to the charity. That probably only feels right now. Now that JD
Well,
said
I was
that,
actually thinking myself I was going to start a GoFundMe up for a little bit of compensation to Nicole because I feel really guilty for having to phone her and tell her that he took donations and she didn't get it. I mean, how on earth did that make her feel? I mean, I felt sick just telling her.
can imagine. Well, like I say, you spoke with Nicole. You've got receipts for speaking to her. Nobody can question that. She was made aware, and she's obviously come onto your Facebook, said what she wanted to say. Um, I don't think you need to feel bad for
She
for
is
that.
so special. That lady is just so special.
Yeah,
There's
well,
just something about her that is all what she's going through. She is just such a special person.
Agree. I'm sure everybody agrees, particularly with
And it
the
breaks
cancer
my
that.
heart to see what she's going through, actually, a young mum.
Yeah, yeah. With the cancer, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she'll get over it. I think she's a strong, determined lady, and she'll pull through it.
very strong woman, very strong lady. Impression I get.
Mm.
Well, I'll make sure the donations go to charity anyway, and
Yeah, whatever.
I'll put a receipt up on the page so people can see where they went. It does take a little while sometimes for it to go through super chat and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But once that's through, I'll make sure that's up. Actually, probably just to avoid any confusion, I'll just add it up, donate it, and then I'll do it tonight or tomorrow. And it's done. That's out of the way. Well, well, thanks for coming on, Maureen. It's much appreciated. I know you probably maybe felt a little bit nervous
I
about
got
coming
here in
on.
the end.
Got here in the end. Technical difficulties. Um, it's so hot here. It's about. Well, it's where you are, isn't it? It's
That's
about.
exactly why I'm not on camera. I look like a dead lettuce.
Yeah.
It's
Say.
absolutely unbearable.
Yeah, my throat's completely dry after talking for an hour and a half. But yeah, I do appreciate you coming on. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat would appreciate it as well.
Well, I don't normally, but I just think things need to be cleared up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I hope Alan listens, or one of his team tell him what I've said. It's time for Alan to put things right and to apologise to the Ruzek family.
Perfectly said. Well, that's a great note to end on, Maureen. So
Mm,
thanks very much for coming on tonight. It's much appreciated. I know it's short notice as well, so I do appreciate
no,
it.
it's no problem.
Enjoy the rest of your hot
Thank
evening.
you. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on, eh?
Thanks, Maureen.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Well, there we go, guys. That was, if anyone doesn't know, that was Maureen Cook. She was one of the chief moderators on Armchair's channel for a long, long time, and sounds like she just got booted to the curb when this new person came in. So again, I think that kind of speaks a lot, really, about how that channel operates and how Armchair operates, really. And obviously with what's come out about the insolvency report and his previous businesses, it all just seems a little bit shady and underhanded. I think that's fair to say. Um, right, okay, guys, my throat is drying up completely, so I'm probably gonna hop off of here now. As I say, this was really purely for public information for everybody, for anyone who wasn't aware. Obviously, for our channel, we obviously got keen interest in what happened today. So I hope you'll find it interesting. It'll be interesting to see where things develop from here. So I don't know. I don't know all the legalities of how what's happened um, on the 6-year ban. Being a director of a company side, I honestly don't know how that um, correlates to YouTube. Is YouTube a business? Well, it kind of is, isn't it? Um, you know, does he have to? Can he carry on YouTube? I don't know. I really, honestly don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I know it brought some cheer and some joy and rest to the Ruzex today. So that's always good news. And thanks to Frankie and Sandy's been in the chat as well. I've noticed. Thanks for coming in. It's nice to see you here always. So thanks, guys. As I say, thanks for the donations tonight. I will just donate the money out my own money to charity tonight, and I'll put a receipt up on the community post so you can all see that has gone off. So that's great. That's good that's come out of tonight as we've raised some money for charity. So there you go. That's all good. But take care, everyone, for now, and we shall see what happens. And yeah, fingers crossed it's all going to come to a good ending. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever time it is, and take care.